Hi, third grade. We are correcting our weekly language review number 4. You should have yours pulled up using split screen right next to this video, and you will be correcting in red pen just like I am. Day 1. Which of the following is a verb? A verb is an action. A, cuddly, B, bolted, C, donut, D, sweet. Well, I can eliminate D because sweet is an adjective. It describes. I can also eliminate C because that's a noun. Donuts are a thing. I can then also eliminate A, cuddly. That is an adjective. It describes. So I would circle B, bolted. That describes an action. If you bolted somewhere, it means you ran fast. Correct the following sentence. We don't have no suitcase for the trip. We don't have no. Well, don't have no is a double negative, meaning we can't use that in our sentence if we're using proper standard English. So we would need to say, we don't have a suitcase for the trip, right? That would make more sense. Circle the subject, underline the predicate. So the subject is the who or what a sentence is about. The blue heron waded into the river. Well, the who or what this sentence is about is the blue heron. That's the subject. The predicate is what that subject did. So what did that blue heron do? It waded in the river. If you get these right, you should be putting a star. If you have gotten them wrong, you should be correcting them with mine. Circle the synonym pair. Remember, synonyms are words that are the same or mean the same thing. Swimming, floating, do those mean the same thing? Wet, damp, do those mean the same thing? Lamb, fawn, do those mean the same thing? Well, swimming and floating are not the same thing. They both happen in water, but they don't describe the same action. Wet and damp should be your answer. Wet and damp mean the same thing. Choose the correct ending punctuation. When will you start your new job? Well, I can see that this word or this sentence starts with a question word. When, who, what, when, where, why. Those are all question words. So I know that I should have a question mark at the end. Day 2, box 1. Put an X on the misspelled words, meaning the word spelled wrong. Friend. That's spelled right. Because, that's spelled wrong. It should be C-A-U-S-E. Sold? No, that's spelled right. They? That's right. Taught? That's right. Girl? Nope, that's wrong. It should be G-I-R-L. Circle the correct contraction for are not. Remember, contractions will make a shorter word by combining the two longer words. So are not, if we put those two together, it would make aren't. And the missing letter that we're going to eliminate is that O. So that's going to be where our apostrophe goes. You're going to want circle number or letter C, are not or aren't. You can see R, N, apostrophe in place of the O, and then the T. Where would you look to find the number to call for an appointment? Dictionary? No, that tells you definitions. Thesaurus? No, that tells you synonyms. Atlas? No, that shows you maps. Almanac? No, that tells you facts. Phone book? Yes, that will tell you phone numbers. Write the prefixes for the following. Remember, a prefix is a word part that comes at the beginning of a base word. It's just a couple letters and it changes the meaning of the base word. Redo. The prefix here is re. It means to do again. Disobey. The prefix here is dis. It means not. You do not obey if you disobey. Mismatch. Miss means not, so it means you don't match. Write an antonym for the following word. Antonym means the opposite. So the opposite of find is lose. Day 3. What type of sentence? Run for your life. So I notice it ends with an exclamation point, which means I can eliminate statement since that ends in a period, and I can eliminate question since that ends in a question mark. I'm left with command, which could be either a period or an exclamation, or exclamation, which always ends in an exclamation. Is this telling me to do something? Is it commanding me to do something? Run for your life. Is it telling you to do something? Yeah, it is. So this I would call a command sentence. Complete the analogy. Fawn is to deer as what is to sheep. In this problem, you can see some of the colons, and those are used to represent words. Let's talk about how we can understand those colons. Those colons, the first one, fawn, I want you to circle yours. Those two dots mean is to, meaning these two are related somehow. So a fawn is to a deer. How does a fawn relate to a deer? Well, I know a fawn is the name for a baby deer. These double colons mean the word as. As blank is to sheep. So I need to know what the name for a baby sheep is. If fawn is related to deer because it's the baby, I need to know what the baby sheep's name is to fill in the blank. Well, a baby sheep is called a lamb. The listing of all the chapters in a book is called what? Table of contents, glossary, copyright, or index. Well, I can eliminate glossary. That tells me the definition of words, and it's in the back of a book. Copyright tells me when it was made, so that doesn't give me information about the chapters. An index will tell me all the words or like specific topics covered in a book, but it's found in the back. The chapters are going to be found in the table of contents. Which homophone goes in the blank? Homophones are words that sound the same but are spelled different. Blank boys are laughing at the movie, and we have choices to, or to. Well, this to is a preposition. This one, TWO, means the number. TOO means also. Does it make sense to say also boys are laughing at the movie? Not really. We want the number two, meaning there are two different kids, two boys, and they are laughing at the movie. Last box in this row, what type of sentence? Kangaroos live in Australia. I notice it ends with a period, which means I can eliminate some of my options. Statements end with periods, questions end with question marks, commands end with a period or an exclamation ends with an exclamation point. I can eliminate exclamation and question. Is this sentence telling me to do something? Is it commanding me? No, it is not. So statement is my answer. Last row. Put the following words in ABC order. That means alphabetical. River, random, real, relieved. Well, ABC order means that you start with the earliest letter, but these all start with R, so that's not very helpful. So I need to look at the second letter now. I, A, E, E. Which letter comes first? Random does. So this one will be our first word. Now I'm looking between I and E. Well, think to yourself, A, B, C, D, E. Well, E comes before I, so I know it has to be either real or relieved, which means I need to actually look at the next letter since these both have E in them. This one has A, this one has L. Which letter comes first? A does, obviously. So this real would be second, relieved would be third, and fourth would be river. Circle the cause, underline the effect. The cause is what happens first, the effect is what happens after that. The baby screamed when he was left in the crib. So what happened first? Did the baby scream first, or was he left in the crib first? He was left in the crib first, so that's my cause. My effect is going to be that the baby screamed. So after the mom or dad or whoever left the baby in the crib, then that's when the baby cried or screamed. Replace the noun with a pronoun. The noun we're replacing is Megan. Megan can play today. A pronoun is less specific, so if we want to change Megan to a pronoun, we would say she. She can play today. Write a homophone for each word below. Homophones are words that sound the same but are spelled different. Thrown. This type of thrown that they've spelled here is like if you've thrown a baseball with your dad. Okay, it's when you throw something in the air. There's also another word called thrown, or pronounced thrown, but it's spelled like this. T-H-R-O-N-E. And it's what a king would sit on. The next word is cell. This word cell is sort of like cell phone, or if you're learning about cells in science. But there's another way to spell cell for another word, and it's S-E-L-L. And this way would be like if you're selling a house, trying to get money for it. Circle the correct verb. Last one. Koalas sleep in the tree all day, or koalas slept in the tree all day? I would say sleep. Once yours looks like mine and you have stars or corrections on your paper, you may now then submit it to Weekly Language Review Week 4 on Schoology.